Hi, I'm Delia Gilbert. I'm entering my junior year at Cornell University. This is my second year as an intern with the Cornell Small Farms program and also my second year working on this mushroom project. Okay, so in the bin I have 10 pounds of straw soaked in hydrated lime. So I'm going to mix the sterile straw with my mycelium, which is in a grain mix. So this is 10 pounds. We're going to put a half pound of mycelium in there. And we measured it out beforehand, and so a half pound fills the cup at the top. Before I touch the spawn mix, always wash with, this is isopropyl alcohol just to keep it sterile. Cleanliness of this process is really important to mitigate the risk of mold or other contaminants, and so we soak straw and lime, and throughout the process, spraying down hands, wearing gloves, anything to keep it clean. So I have the spawn in here, and then for this batch, we're also going to use some of our soy hulls, which is a nitrogen supplement. So we're measuring out also a half pound of soy hulls, which we pre-measured as one full container. Bring that in there, close it up. And then this all gets mixed around really thoroughly to disperse the mycelium and the soy hulls throughout the straw mixture. So toss it around. The bags with soy hulls end up being a lot lighter and a lot drier than the bags without soy hulls because they absorb so much moisture. Okay, so this is well mixed. So at the beginning of each 4-week cycle, I measure out bags for all 4 weeks of the experiment, and it's a 40-inch plastic tube with a knot on each end. And then before you start stuffing it, I like to pull out the base a little bit so you don't get an air pocket at the bottom. So flatten it out, flip it over. And then when you're adding straw to the bag, and rather than putting it in clumps, you really want to avoid air pockets and make sure it's evenly dispersed. So do that by sort of like sprinkling it in, shaking your hand around a little bit. And I'm going to fill the base by adding 3 or 4 handfuls at the very beginning until I have a good, 8 inches in there. And then I'm going to compact on the table. And the reason you do that is you don't want any air pockets in the bottom, and so this makes sure that it's pretty evenly flat. And having it compact the bottom makes it easier for the rest of it. For the rest of the straw, sprinkle it in 1 handful at a time. For the first round of trials we did last year, we compacted it as we went. So you'd add a few handfuls, press it down, add a few handfuls, press it down, and we ended up with these really solid blocks. But it also took a really long time. And so Steve has found over the past year that it's actually a lot more efficient, especially for farmers doing many bags at once, to sprinkle the straw mixture all the way in up to the top. And then once you've fit about as much in there as you can, so I'm going to call that about there, then you can sort of pat it down. You don't need to actually press it down, just tapping it on the table is enough. But it should be a pretty firm thunk. And make sure as you do it that you're holding the top of the bag open so it doesn't escape. Okay, so at this point I've pretty much cleared out my bin. Grabbing stuff from the edges. And I'm now going to pack this down until it's about 2 feet long. Over here on the table I have my 2-foot mark. Pinch at the top, and that's just about right. Sealing up for me is always the tricky part. So you're going to want to gather the top really tightly so you don't have any air pockets at the top. And then I like to twist it by rolling it along the table so you get a really firm seal up at the top there. So pull this up, twist it a little more, and then you're looking for a really tight knot right at the base so you don't have any big air pockets at the top. So let's see how well I do. The reason the bags are so much longer than the straw, 40 inches versus 24 inches for the final bag, is that tying it at the top is very difficult. This plastic is not particularly pliable, so the longer the tail is, the easier it is to tie. We hang these vertically to fruit the mushrooms, and so in order to hang them, we take a zip tie and then one of these eye hooks. And it's important, we learned this year, is to use the small side and make sure you face it out. Doesn't seem like it would matter that much, but it makes a big difference in time when you're going to harvest and pulling them off and putting them back on the racks all the time. So face it out, chop off the extra ends just to keep it neat in the chambers. Flip it over, cut off the extra length at the bottom also. And then you want to add a few holes at the bottom just for drainage. So they'll end up cutting a bunch of holes with our little, with our paddle to make space for the mushrooms to grow once you introduce air. But at the very bottom, you're just adding a few bigger holes so it can drip drain with all the extra moisture in the bag as it hangs. Okay, so this is my finished bag. You go hang it on the rack. And then for research purposes, we're adding a sticker with the type of mushrooms it is and the date that we inoculated.